What's up, guys, and welcome back to Fiction Tea Reviews. So, today we're going to talk about The Platform on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, I suggest you go watch it right now and click off this video and then maybe come back later. The Platform is about this guy basically volunteers to be a part of this weird system where there's levels and you have roommates and you get food sent to you through the levels, and whatever level you're on depends on how much food you're gonna get. So if you're at the lower levels, you're gonna get the scraps. If you're at the top levels, you'll get more than the people who are at the lower levels. And a couple of days everyone wakes up and you're on a different level. So some way, I'm pretty sure they move the people while they're sleeping. The characters were pretty good. You had a versatility about each character. You had an old man, you had a woman with a dog, this lady who was trying to find her child, and then you had the guy, which was the main character, and you just had different types of characters, which was really cool and interesting. I found this really interesting that they released this during the whole quarantine thing that's going on right now. Of course, they obviously released this movie correlates to what's happening now, and it shows how, yes, people need food to survive, but people are very greedy and very selfish, and they only care about themselves. For example, when the lady with the dog talked about the rations, and she said we should save, enough rations for everybody, and the people just was like, we don't give a F, F you, F rations. We haven't eaten, we're hungry. It kind of reveals a message where it's like, we need to work together in order to survive this, but people don't want to work together because they're all about themselves. And it also showed an example of how women are not really heard. Women said it and she was trying to be kind about it. They didn't care. But when the guy yelled at them, then they listened. It's also really interesting how the lady had the daughter, and then no one, they were saying oh no, there's no kids. But they found the little girl at the end, and some people were saying that's an illusion. And I was like, that's an interesting concept, because at the end, spoiler alert, at the end, he met up with the old guy. And I'm like, isn't he dead? And I'm thinking, okay, if the old guy's dead, then does that make him dead? Does that make this whole thing an illusion? That was a question. And so they find the little girl, and she takes basically the elevator up, and it doesn't show what happens at the end. I wish they would have showed what happened at the end, because I would have liked to see what happened at the end. But all in all, it wasn't a bad movie. It was actually pretty good. It's pretty interesting. It was kind of quick to its pace. It wasn't drawn out or anything. I really don't have bad things to say about this movie. It wasn't bad. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and comment below, let me know your thoughts about the film, and what speculations do you guys have, because there's definitely some questions that I have that I'm just what? For example, the 333, that was the last level, and it was they thought it was only a certain amount of levels, and then they end up finding out there's way more levels, and then it's 333, and symbolism, 333 represents destiny. One or something or an angel is gonna come and basically help you on whatever your mission is. And it's was the little girl supposed to be that for them? And they kept talking about this is the message, the cake is the message, with the whole cake thing. But it turns out the cake they gave to the little girl, and the little girl ended up being the message. And there's just so many things to speculate, honestly, about this. So comment below and let me know your thoughts about the film, and I will see you all next time. Peace out. If you would like to stick around and hear the read aloud about my book, Rain, about a group of young adults in a psych ward who have been living there for so long and don't think they're ever going to get out, and then they get this new counselor who was I'm going to help figure out what's really going on. And I think something is going on, because it's weird, and I'm being haunted, and my traumas are coming out to get me, and this place is really, really sus. So yeah, last we checked out, we were reading, and if you guys want to stay around, then yeah. Well, we had John Smith, and he was in the office with his boss, who is basically an alcoholic. I mean, it shows that he's constantly drinking all the time. And John Smith is telling him about, each kid individually, and the boss has something smart to really say about each one of the kids, and John Smith is like really irritated by it because he's like, this guy is so ignorant, disrespectful, and we're gonna continue. Oh, I continue. No, I was going to say that she's just very outspoken. Okay, this is when right before I stopped, the boss called Tracy a whore because John Smith was talking about one of the kids. Her name is Tracy, and John Smith is like, no, that's not what I was going to say about her. No, I was going to say that she's very outspoken. Loves attention, that one. Unlike the others, who I'm sure knows why they're truly here. She doesn't think nor acknowledges her why. I put my leg one over the other. In fact, her record doesn't really say whether she does or not, which makes me question why she's here. She says it's because her father is punishing her. Could that be? I laugh, amused by my own speculations. In fact, classifying someone as, well, a whore for their promiscuity or lifestyle, or a confused kid for their choice of gender, doesn't actually make them eligible to be labeled as crazy. I just don't understand. He's questioning why these kids are here because it doesn't sound like there's a solid reason as to why they're here, because he doesn't deem them as crazy. He puts down his cup, bending backwards in his chair unbothered. He looks like a plump little gremlin. Did you read the files thoroughly, Smith? Yes, of course. Every single one. But I don't understand. I mean, do these kids know why they're... He cuts me off. None of them do. He pulls out a pack of smokes from his drawer to offer me one. I decline. He lights one. Taking a puff, he says, think. None of them think. He points to his head. They belong here, Smith. The dark smoke leaves his mouth, lingering in the air like a paper bag, empty, loose. But if you allow it, it can suffocate you. They are here, he says. He taps a cigarette on an ashtray. Go on. Right, I pause momentarily to gather my thoughts as the smoke clogs my memory. The soldier, he seems a bit mature. I mean, he is older in comparison. Well, yes. He's talking about Teo. He is actually the oldest, but his IQ is on the level of a kid in grade school. That's why he was put with this particular group. They seem to get along well with him. He keeps them in check. It's good he keeps them in line. He puts the cigarette down. Thank goodness. It's funny. It's as if sometimes he's perfectly normal. His wife drops by, they talk, then poof, he shakes his head. Teo has disappointed me so many times. He takes a sip. He had potential. Lots of it, but he chose otherwise. What does he mean? And Teo, the 6-foot retired Army veteran who nearly killed me? I shiver. Is it true? He looks at me with speculation. About Teo? He warily squints his eyes. Yes. Is it true he's the most dangerous, because he's experienced? Oh, he leans back. No. He shakes his head. You haven't met one of the most dangerous patients we have, but when you do, trust me, you will know. He smiles. There's another patient. He stretches. All right, who's next? I ponder slowly, pulling out my clipboard. There's Neho, who seems to be very mysterious. It's almost disturbing, except for the fact that the kid seems harmless. Yes, one of my favorite patients. He smiles. Yeah, this kid doesn't have any reason to be here, so why? I listen closely on this one. Let me tell you a little something about Neho. The kid was a gift from God. The heavens blessed me with the kid. He laughs wickedly. I stare perplexed, unamused, but curious. What does he mean? Drunkenly, he points at me and slurs, "You'll find out and report." He points to himself. Back to me. Got it, young man. I roll my eyes, ignoring his last comment. But now's my chance while he's intoxicated. I ask, why is the kid here, sir? Neil's not one of them. Kid takes the meds we give, abides by the rules, and obeys. He whispers as if to keep a secret. And nobody, no one will ever care if Neil's gone. No one has ever looked for the kid or dropped by. He bends down lifting up a bottle of whiskey from under his table. Nothing. I watch him open it up, pouring himself another glass. And the records indicate the kid is a special shocker. I look at the boss knowing what it means, but hoping I'm wrong. Yes, Smith. He smiles. The kid is simply here to serve us, like the lamb being sacrificed for Jesus, the prophet, he says with a crooked smile. Then he laughs, creepishly. I frown, but remind myself to place a star next to the prophet. All right, we done here? He grabs another smoke, although he never finished the last one. I have a meeting in a few... Wait, we forgot about Joseph. Joseph Wright. His face droops in distaste. I must say, this one's probably one of my favorites so far. He's just so fascinating. He ignites his peers. It's almost as if they believe in him. It's an admiration or love. Yes, he responds. Mr. Wright. He shakes his head, exhaling. He's a character, that one. Nothing he says makes sense. He sees things, hears things that are in fact there. He's really detached from the world. He slams his hand on the desk, startling me. He doesn't know his left foot from his damn right. He lives in La La Land. Perhaps he's trying to... What if his memory is just clogged up, like he's trying to tell us something? Wonderful. See, that's why I brought you in, Smith. You have a different perspective. I want a new fresh face to woo them. We need someone who understands them. Someone like you. I sit in silence, gazing at the cigarette ashes burning the desk. Now, when Western brought you in, oh, I doubted you at first, but now it's different. He looks at me bullish. I hope you can handle this, Smith, because these animals will eat you alive. He cackles, finally burning out the cigarette on his desk. His phone rings. He picks it up. He speaks in a dark, concealing tone. I decide that it's time to exit. Then, a light bulb in my head strikes me. Oh, I almost forgot. There was a name on the list. I didn't see him. I point to the name. Ah, yes. You'll meet soon enough. He gets back on the phone, but as I walk away, he roars, Take the hallway down and go to room 3. It has a gold door with a gold doorknob. It's hard to miss. I think him exiting the office. We're going to stop there. See you all next time.